Welcome back to Nucleotide Metabolism on Catalyst University. My name is Kevin Tokoph. Please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for future videos and notifications. I mentioned in the pyrimidine biosynthesis video when we talked about orotidylate decarboxylase, aka OMP decarboxylase, that I would show you the mechanism of it because this is a really important enzyme when you're talking about rate enhancement. I mentioned that orotidylate decarboxylase first of all, converts orotidylate into UMP, or uridylate, but that it takes a reaction that, uncatalyzed by an enzyme, would take roughly 30 million years and then does it in 17 milliseconds. And I forget the exact number, but it's something like a 10 to the 17th factor of rate enhancement, which is extremely impressive. Actually, this mechanism is actually fairly simple, but it's a very interesting mechanism, and I think it's kind of cool. So that's why I'm going to show it here. So again, we're converting orotidylate into uridylate. Now, we mentioned this enzyme is going to decarboxylate orotidylate. So how does that work? All right, so how does this work? Well, I've got orotidylate right here. Here's the carboxyl group, and while in the active site, it's going to be deprotonated. It has a negative charge right here. That's very important. We also have a critical lysine residue, lysine 93 up here. And then also there's another residue, aspartate 91. Notice that both orotidylate's carboxyl group and aspartate right here have negative charges. That's very important. If orotidylate's carboxyl was protonated, this would not work. This has to be deprotonated. So what happens is the enzyme puts orotidylate in the active site, and it forces this aspartate R group carboxyl to come in really close proximity to the carboxyl of orotidylate. And so what these little dotted lines right here are representing are kind of like a qualitative electric field. You guys probably remember electric fields from physics, and if you put two negative electric fields in close proximity, they start repelling. All right, so this aspartate is going to be put really close to that carboxyl group, and you're going to have negative repulsion. That's not really favorable. So this carboxyl group doesn't like to be there. It's going to therefore decarboxylate. And so there's going to be electrons on here going to kick up, and you're going to form CO2, so you lose CO2, and that causes these electrons to go up onto this carbon as a lone pair. You see the negative charge is shown right there. That negative charge is first of all stabilized by this positively charged lysine, but then it's actually going to abstract this proton from the lysine. And so that's that hydrogen that you see right here, which generally when we draw it, we just emit that hydrogen, but there is a hydrogen there. And so that is the catalytic mechanism of OMP decarboxylase. And again, it's a very simple mechanism, but I find it really interesting how this aspartate R group literally just forces itself right next to that carboxyl group, and that's what stimulates it to decarboxylate. Just charge repulsion, and then a proton transfer. Very simple, but it also goes to show you that uncatalyzed, this reaction would take about 30 million years. So even though it looks really simple, it just doesn't happen. This is a very stable molecule right here, orotidylate. So you have to have an enzyme here, and then it does it in just a few milliseconds. I think it's like 17 milliseconds or something like that. So hopefully this gives you an appreciation for the mechanism and also the impressive nature of the rate enhancement of this enzyme. All right, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for future videos and notifications. And we've pretty much hit most of what there is to do with pyrimidine biosynthesis, so we're going to go into some more aspects of nucleotide metabolism in the next few videos. Thank you for watching. See you next time.